Hey, what's up, guys, and welcome to Xbox On, and I'm joined by the legend that is Phil Spencer.
The legend?
I thought it was the way to go.
It's like a wake.
Huh? But, right, we're going to be playing a bit of Voodoo Vince Remastered, which is actually your favorite game.
Yes. Yeah, this game, I've told this story so many times, is the first game I really finished with both my daughters.
Yeah.
So when I'm playing this game, I'm thinking about them sitting next to me, helping me with the puzzles, which they were actually very helpful. But it's so great to have it come back out on Xbox.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. We streamed it the other day as well and had an absolute laugh with it. But we're going to be talking about loads of stuff. We're going to be talking about Project Scorpio, obviously, loads of other Xbox stuff, games, of course. First things, what made you love Voodoo Vince so much? Because obviously it came out on the original Xbox.
It did, yeah, OG Xbox game. I mean, one of the things is obviously the character. I think the character just has such great personality.
Yeah.
The times, and you've played a little bit of the game, so you know where he turns and looks at the camera during certain cutscenes and stuff, I think is just magical. And like I said, for me, I've never been a strong competitive player. I play to have fun. It's why I like co-op games. It's like why I like when in the room we can have fun when something's on screen. I love the sound, the music in this game is fantastic. But it is really about playing with my girls and when they were young and them loving the character, helping me solve the puzzles. Yeah. And those are just experiences that are great life experiences and things I'll never forget.
Yeah. Have they hopped on and played it since the remasters come out?
My youngest has. My oldest is in university now, so who knows what she's doing, but she better not be playing video games. But but yeah, my youngest was really looking forward to it. I let her know that Clayton, who is the creator of Voodoo Vince, was bringing it back, and she was incredibly happy.
Yeah. So obviously, your favorite games come back this week with Voodoo Vince Remastered.
Yeah.
Mine actually came back last week. With
BO2.
Yeah. Like your Twitter feed must have gone down a lot. Like, where's Black Ops 2 coming? When's it coming? When's it coming?
I could literally post any piece of news. I could talk about. I don't know, I could talk about our developer platform, talk about Scorpio, and the first post would always be, when's Black Ops 2 coming?
When's Black Ops 2?
So I actually started in tweets having to bracket and say, this is not about Black Ops 2. Please don't ask me about Black Ops 2. It was so great to be able to work with Activision to bring it back to Xbox One.
It's been a lot of fun because I've kind of spent a lot of time hopping back on it and playing with my friends that we used to play.
Well, and you were a serious player.
Well, yeah, I've got about 25, 30 days played on that time. Yeah, and that's not even custom games. That's not even competition matches. That was just in public match tournament. You just constantly kind of bring back all those memories that you had, and it's like, oh yeah, we used to do this. Try this. And it's just that natural feel. And it's kind of one of the things that I love about the Back Compat program is obviously we do get to have all those old games and kind of bring those memories back. What other games have you been kind of hopping in and playing?
Yeah, I just finished Thimbleweed Park, which is kind of different in that it's a new game from Ron Gilbert on Xbox, but harkens back to a time of old when we used to play kind of text-based character adventures. It takes place in 1987. I remember 1987 well. And some of the Ron's just a hilarious writer and a great studio put that game together and finished it all the way, which was good. Before that, I played Candleman. Which was one of our first ID games that came from China. Yeah. So Chinese developed game, kind of a platformer game, that was a great game. And it's great to see new games coming out that are doing so well. I mean, it's such a rich time in video games. I'm here in Europe. I was just up at Mojang talking to Minecraft, a game that's been around since 2009. Yeah. And then yesterday I was at Rare, Sea of Thieves.
Yeah, how did you find it? Did you get a lot of hands-on with it?
Yeah, we played they have a really cool their studio set up for the multiplayer stuff. Yeah. My ship was victorious, which always makes me happy.
It's always the most important thing, because I got to have a load of time on it at Gamescom last year. Yeah. And it's one of the most fun experiences, especially if you hop on with a group of friends. Yeah. Everyone you see play it is just laughing, having a good time. And obviously, this is kind of bringing me on to kind of what I know that so many people are excited about. And obviously, we got the tech specs recently. Yeah. Project Scorpio, right? One thing, right? Is it true that you walk around with the Scorpio engine in your back pocket? Right, because this is one thing. It's like, oh yeah, I've got the on Digital Foundry. They had the chip themselves.
Yeah, I do because when I come on camera, sometimes I have to take things out of my pocket. So I don't have, but it's actually in my bag right over there. Now, what happens on the Scorpio engine when you build the chips? a bunch of them come off the line. Every once in a while, one doesn't work. So mine doesn't work. I know, but I'm going to be honest. But it's so when they come off the line and one didn't work, I'm like, I want that.
Yeah,
just give me it. Yeah, just so I have one. Yeah, it's.
Was there a reason you think like put in like a glass case, or did you just want to have like the?
I'm not fancy. I'm not posh like those guys.
Not having it on the display.
No, it wouldn't fit in my pocket as well.
No, it is quite chunky though. Like
it is, but you know the bet that we made as a team on the hardware side 3 years ago that we were going to do 2 consoles. We're going to do the S, which has done so incredibly well. We're playing on it right here. Yeah. And Scorpio, we were going to announce them both in the same E3, which we did last year. Shipped obviously the S going into the fall last year and did incredibly well. It's been such a great selling console for us. And then hit the beat a couple weeks ago with the Scorpio unveil with Richard and the Gama Sutra guys that came out. My story on that one, which it was interesting because I had no idea what they were going to write. Yeah. Like they flew out to
Did you find out the same time as us?
I did. Honestly, I had no idea what those articles were going to say. Obviously, I knew what we said to them. Yeah. And at the time we came up with the strategy, I'm like, yeah, we should have other people tell the story of what we're doing. It's more authentic and more believable than us talking about what we do. Of course, people are going to say we're going to be positive. So I like the idea of being authentic and transparent. But I woke up that morning, it was like getting posted at 6 a.m. our time on a Thursday, and it just struck me, I have no idea what Richard wrote. Yeah. Like he could have it could have been a bad day.
But what I found incredible was just the reaction, like the public reaction to the actual specs. Everyone was like, oh my God, this is actually going to be the most powerful console. Did it kind of get the reception that you were hoping for?
Yeah, I come from building games. Yeah. So I look at the hardware, the platform, and the service as the platform in which we build our games. So I think the real proof point is how games are going to look. What am I going to get to play on Scorpio? What am I going to play on S? But and how those games are actually going to feel, what they're going to look like on screen. So I love this part of the story. I loved announcing last year at E3. I thought it was a fantastic moment. I thought the last couple of weeks with DF and Gama Sutra were great in them helping us tell our story through what they saw, like listening to us and writing their truth and what they heard. But we had to go to E3. We had to show some great games. We got to ship. Ship is important. We got to get through the fall. So it's one step along the journey, but the journey's a long way.
See, I'm quite jealous because I know you've played Scorpio. You've kind of seen it in action, what it looks like. Is it actually true that you've got one at home?
Yeah. First thing we did is we actually took the S. I keep pointing at it. The camera can't see it. And we overclocked it. Because we wanted to see, because one of the things that was important to us was all your old games are going to run better, right? Like we wanted to make sure we didn't have different modes that the games run in, that if you're running a game on Scorpio, it will run at its highest performance, which meant we always wanted to stay in the highest mode possible on Scorpio. So took some overclock Xbox One S's home just to see, okay, how's that going to work? Then we started getting the earlier Scorpio pre-production units off the line, and I have one at home and I've been using it for about a month. It's fantastic.
What do you think everyone's kind of reaction is going to be, right, when they first see a game playing in true 4K on Scorpio? Because I'm quite, because I got my first experience on Play Anywhere with Gears of War 4 in 4K, which looked absolutely incredible, which has kind of got me even more excited. Yeah, to see what it's like.
For the core game community, I think to a lot of us, games are an immersive escape experience, and when something looks great, sounds great, things like HDR, which almost give you an emotional feeling on the screen because you see the depth and the colors and stuff. I think that's what people are going to feel. They're going to feel an immersive kind of capacity to the games that just gets deeper as resolution, color gamut get wider, get broader, get deeper. I think all of that is what we're trying to do for creators so that they can create the best experiences possible. That said, a lot of people are going to be completely happy with an Xbox One S, plugging it in and going off and playing the games that they go play. But for that core person who's, look, I want the best sound, why the Dolby Atmos and other things that we're doing, while something to make the feel of the game great and then the look through HDR and 4K. It's all about making the most immersive platform we can for the creators.
Yeah, I think it's one of the things that really excites me as a gamer is the amount of choice Xbox is offering. Obviously, because Scorpio, you've kind of discussed it as being a premium console. Yeah. And obviously, you've also got the Xbox
which has people guessing at the price.
Yeah, it's one of the things. Right? Can you actually tell us the price? I know you're not going to be able to tell us what the price is, but if you just say something and then we have to bleep it out, and there's just it's oh my God, no way, really? Right? That's awesome. Right? That's what I thought.
or what it looks like, or the name.
What's the name? What's the name? No, really.
I've been doing all hands meetings, so I did one at Minecraft. I was up at Rare, and I told them at the beginning, like, you ask me anything. Our team relationships are great. We're so open and transparent with like, they'll ask me questions about unannounced things. And we have, because I'm seeing their game that's obviously unannounced, so it's a trust relationship. I said, please don't ask me the price, and please don't ask me the name.
I think it's like one of the things that everyone's just like, maybe today is the day. Maybe Phil's just gonna tell me.
One guy at Rare, he was so creative. He said, okay, so Xbox One S is this price, and a high-end PC is this price. So if Scorpio's close to the high-end PC, why wouldn't somebody? He was trying to triangulate and get
just trying to guessing, like, kind of like, look, let's just think of this logically. If we look at this and this, right, this is what. So is this the price? Right.
But I didn't give it up.
No,
I didn't give it up.
No, it's just that I was.
But we will. We obviously know. And people ask me on Twitter, hey, should I go pre-order the console now? I want to pre-order. I say two things. One, wait till we show you games.
Yeah.
Right? Like, that's when you should buy hardware. Wait till you see the games.
I think that's one of the most important things, though, is the games and kind of how they're going to look.
That's right.
I'm one of the first people to always get super excited about hardware. It's like when the Elite controller first came, which is obviously like the premium controller.
Yeah.
I remember Xbox Showcase after E3, seeing at the conference, I was like straight over to the controller. I was like, all right, I need to get my hands on this, kind of like have a look at it. And then it was the exact same last year when the S came out, and it was in the kind of like the corner and had like 2 security guards around, right? And we're doing video going like hands on. So I was like, obviously trying to touch it and stuff like this, and they was like, don't touch the hardware. And I was like, I tried my best, but it didn't work. But it's the same thing as
a man like you. I figured the seas would part, and you'd just be able to do it.
The thing is, I thought he was joking, and he just looked at me, and I was like, oh right, you're not joking. All right. So it's probably gonna happen this year with Scorpio as well. I'm like kind of like sprint over, right, and then just get told off by the security guards.
I hope not.
I hope not, because I hopefully can play it. But what's the kind of like, what do you think is the big reason for someone to pick up Scorpio from what they've heard about and seen so far before?
Yeah, it's a great question. We built Scorpio with really one specific user in mind, which is the person who wants the absolute best version of all the games.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people who buy Scorpio probably already have an Xbox One.
Yeah.
Or maybe they have a PS4, and they're saying, okay, I love the exclusive games on either platform. You know, I love playing Horizon, I love playing Zelda, I love playing Halo or Gears or Crackdown or Sea of Thieves. But where am I going to play my third-party games?
Yeah.
And we're trying to build a platform which is absolutely the best place for third-party games to show up. And obviously, our first-party games will be leading in the way they look on the platform. But our target customer for Scorpio is the person who absolutely wants the best version of third-party games. It's why through our X-Fest, which is our internal development kind of conference where we bring the third parties in and go through all that. We did this before the Digital Foundry article. We went through all of the nuts and bolts of how you're going to build your games, brought all the third party developers in. It was an incredible reaction. Then the Digital Foundry stuff hit, which even got more excitement. And teams have been coming through the labs in Redmond porting their third party engines over, and I can definitively say we're seeing the best console versions of the third-party games showing up.
It's like when we saw the still image that we've seen from Forza, which looks absolutely incredible, and just like seeing like the stats and everything going like with what developers are actually going to be able to do with Scorpio and what we're going to see. I'm just like really excited to see it, and obviously we're going to start seeing more of that at E3 and what the games are actually looking like, which is another reason why you should hit that subscribe button, because we're going to be showing it right here on Xbox On.
That was well done.
I
like that.
You just gotta get it in, right? Hit that subscribe button because you don't want to miss anything out.
Good. Right? That was well done. I like that. I gotta take some lessons from that.
I can see in the comments everyone's starting to get hyped up for Scorpio, seeing what's gonna be next. And
well, on that, it's an interesting line that I've watched the video game industry. I've been around for a long time.
Yeah.
You know, it used to be that as a creator, your story was told to the press would write some things, print it on a piece of paper, and then you'd wait for your monthly magazine to come. And now the line between people who want to talk about video games and the people who want to see the content is real time.
Yeah.
Right? You have things like Beam and Twitch where people are streaming real time as they're playing and getting response. You've got stuff on YouTube and other places where people distribute video content. And I think it's a great thing about our industry that the line between creator, community, and player is so tight.
Yeah.
And even such now that you're getting kind of upstream from even before a game is developed. And Rare's a good example with Sea of Thieves, right? They've been bringing the community along the journey of what it means to create Sea of Thieves. And I think you see a lot of people doing that. You know, our game preview program has been great for bringing people in. But I think it's a real strength of the game industry that the line between creator and player and community is so tight right now And I just think it makes our art form better.
Yeah, talking about preview as well, obviously Game Pass got announced recently, which is kind of going to give loads of people, and that's going to be available first on preview, if I'm right.
It's in the Insider program on Xbox right now.
Yeah, so Insider. Is that also kind of, are people who pick up Scorpio going to see benefits of that program? Are their games going to look better if they're using them on...
What I'm seeing right now, and BO2 is kind of a good example. Even if you go to like how 360 games are running on Xbox One, in most cases the definitive version of our game is now the Xbox One version. Xbox One games running on Scorpio, if they have any kind of scalable architecture, whether it's around frame rate and CPU constraints that they have in certain issues or GPU constraints, the games will look better. Game Pass for me though was really about, because the high-end customer buys so many games today that they probably own the games that they want to play in Game Pass. Maybe not always, but they own the games they want to play. But I think about a parent who goes in and says, okay, I'm buying a console. Maybe I don't want to be on I have to buy a game every month for Junior, so they keep playing. So I think a good price, we'll see how it plays out, but a good price, I can subscribe to this service, and I know my family has 100 games to go play.
It's like you've seen it with like Netflix and all these sort of
things.
That's right. You just and it gives you a chance to discover new things that you wouldn't normally have
That's exactly right.
Which is like, you might not see it, you see it in a shop and you'll be like, oh, that looks interesting, but I don't want to pay £30-40 for the game.
Absolutely.
Game Pass is going to allow you to go, oh, I'll try that, see what it's like for an hour, and then see, get some new experiences, which is what sounds really cool about it.
And some of the games in there are games that I see today that are still played at an incredibly high level on the platform. So you're figuring, okay, instead of, I can still go buy the big blockbuster games or the ID games as they come out, as I get excited about them, but I always know I have this great library of content to go play. Trying to bring good value to our customers is really important to us.
Yeah. All right. Obviously, we're kind of running out of time now, but I've got one last thing. Right?
Yes.
For people kind of looking at Scorpio ahead of E3, right? What's the thing that you think everyone should be getting excited about?
I think the game lineup this year across the board is fantastic, and I think Scorpio will be the best console to go play these games on. But when I think about just the games that we've heard from third party, from first party, it's going to be such an incredible year. I know we say that every year, but I've had some opportunities to look at some of the third party games, which are just coming together so well. I'm obviously playing a lot of our first party games, and I think the diversity and creativity this year is just fantastic. Some things like Destiny 2 coming, with obviously Destiny 1 was really massive. I was over at Bungie like 2-3 weeks ago.
I'm jealous. Right, Hunter, Titan, right, or Warlock?
Titan.
You need to join the Hunters, right? We get cloaks, right? It's the most important thing. We get a cloak. That's going to look amazing in 4K.
I actually went over and I got to play a little bit, and it got me back into Destiny 1 because I'm not at 400 light level yet. So I'd been out a little bit, so I went back. And but then I want to go finish all the raids again before Destiny 2 comes out.
All the stuff's going on.
I know, so that's something I want to go do it. But I mean, I think the games that are coming out, the new Star Wars game that was just announced, obviously Red Dead's been announced. It's going to be out there. There's some other things that maybe aren't announced yet. The new Mordor game that we're partnering with.
That looks awesome.
It's going to be fantastic. So I just think this year, where last year was a lot of shooter games, which I think is great, and I know Destiny and these games are shooters as well, but I think there's a lot of other kind of genres that'll be out there, and I just think it's going to be an incredibly strong year. It's going to be a good E3.
I'm excited for E3. Also, we're going to be giving away these controllers that we're using, even though I didn't pick mine up. So we're going to throw a Sharpie in, right, or pass a Sharpie in, throw the other controller, throw it. Pass it, right? No one's throwing stuff at me. All right, so we're going to sign these for you to have a chance to win as well. So Phil,
I'm signing.
Right? Yeah. So all you're going to have to do to enter it is follow the link in the description below, and then you can win one of these controllers as well, which is signed by Phil, which is pretty awesome. But that's talking about Project Scorpio and like loads of other stuff going on with Xbox. Thank you very much for joining us on Xbox On.
Please subscribe to Xbox On. It's a great channel.
Yeah, and hit that thumbs up button, and we'll see you next time. Bye.